Well, hello my friends, Time Architect here, and welcome to another episode from the Zetacraft SMP server. Well guys, it was bound to happen. It finally happened. RickyCFT called me out on Twitter about the back of my castle not being finished. It is still very much floating back here, so he caught me red-handed, and I am guilty as charged. I'll go ahead and slap that tweet up on screen right now. Yep, he got me. So we're going to have to take care of that in this episode and finish out Phase 2 so we can move right along to the next stage of the castle. But before we jump into a time-lapse of that, something very odd has happened over at my starter base. So I tell you what, I'll meet you guys right over at it. So you guys remember Bob, right? Bob the giant ice blob that was right out on my island, and I fed him lots and lots of ice. Well, he may have grown into something. Bob, I gave you ice. There's no need to be so angry, Bob. What are you doing to my base, Bob? Oh, Megatecha, what have you done to my base? What have you done? Yeah, I would agree. I think Bob grew. I think there's only one way to retaliate for a prank such as this. And, well guys, there's a reason you should never prank somebody with a gold farm. The reason why you should never mess with someone who owns a gold farm is because they might have access to piglin trading. So for 1 gold ingot, you might say get, I don't know, obsidian. And say someone were to AFK at said gold farm for a very long time, they might have access to a lot of obsidian. Maybe possibly enough to build a ginormous obsidian blob. Let's do it! Well, Bob has returned to the depths from which he came, and now I would like to introduce you to Monsieur Bob, who is Bob's foreign cousin from France, and he's got a little hardened on his journey, as you can tell. I'll be honest, guys, when I first saw Bob, I was going to rebuild Bob out of obsidian, but it took me 30 minutes just to take down all the packed ice. So I'm not gonna make Megatecha take 4 hours to break down all the obsidian. So I went ahead and toned him down, and like I said, Monsieur Bob is now here. And as you can see, I left some notes. Monsieur Bob has a gift for you. Be careful, he has bad breath. So what I mean by that is Megatecha was actually asking for calcite, and I wasn't gonna initially sell it to him, but I figured why not? I'll go ahead and gift it to him, as well as, since he's good guy Time Architect, went ahead and gave him a beacon if he wants it to break him back down. So there we go. I think that was a nice, fun counter prank. And now, my friends, we can go back and work on the terraforming of the castle. So I will meet you guys right over there. Alright, we are back over here underneath my ginormous hollow castle. Man, this is such an epic terraforming project, and I don't know if I ever actually showed this to you guys, but I put up a sign over here that if we were to fly right on up, on the other side of this is Ice's billboard. But I went ahead and put a little bit of your daily motivation right there. Every epic project starts with the first block. So this stone block right here was the first one I placed to build up to start to terraform the castle yards before I built the whole thing. So right there, that stone block, that is block numero uno for this ginormous castle. And I'm sure you guys are wondering, it's obviously I did some digging underneath here, as well as some organization. And you're probably like, Time, what are you going to do with this ginormous open space underneath here? Well, I had always hinted at a little surprise. And the only way that you guys are going to get to see this surprise is if you are all subscribing. Because I'm going to reserve this project and the unveiling of it when I hit 500 subscribers. So you guys know what to do. Subscribe if you are not. And without further ado, let's go ahead and enclose this castle. And just like that, we have a fully completed terraformed landscape. Besides needing to go back in and work a few details, for instance, the best way to feature that is right here. We can see the green line of where the castle starts and the cliff ends, or vice versa. I just need to blend that back down, kind of doing the reverse gradient, so that way it all works together. But other than that, guys, I could not be more proud of how this came out. Just some more texturing and all that, some leaves, some bushes and stuff to sell the landscape, and phase 2 will be complete. I'll take care of that off camera because I got an invitation. RickyCFT put out like a just open-ended invitation for anybody who wants to build in his valley. He said is more than happy to do that. So I went ahead and collected up some resources, which you saw in the opening scene there, which also, I'm all sorts of distracted. But I want to know what you guys think. My opening scenes is kind of like hints at what I am going to be doing in that episode. And let me know what you guys think. Is that something you like to see, kind of like a little teaser of what's going on? Or would you just kind of rather see more of the raw footage of me just getting straight into the episode? So let me know down in the comments what you guys think, what you want to see. I am always out to try to improve my videos, so any feedback is good for me. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and jump over at Ricky's base and let's go and build a house, shall we? What? Spoilers ahead. Please don't record. Thanks. Okay, I will not record deal. Well, that makes things a little bit more complicated, but I'm all for a challenge. So, you know what? Let's leave him a note to let him know that I did read this, confirmed it. There we go. I will pass my replay footage away. Time. So, I'm going to go look at this. But for you guys, let's just jump straight into the time lapse of building a house in his valley. And there we have it. Our nice little humble abode over here in Ricky's Valley. I tell you what, I checked out the spoilers that Ricky has going on over here, and they are epic. So I'm going to do a quick little cut so that way I don't spoil it. Okay, now I'm flipped back around so I can showcase this to you guys. This was so much fun to build. I was kind of actually really reapproaching the original design that I did in my Let's Play series. I'll go ahead and drop a little link in the upper corner for that if you wanted to check out kind of where I based that style from. But the inspiration that I had was actually a lot taller, but I'm trying to work in the scale that Ricky has in his valley. So if we just kind of come inside, here's the basement storage area where we can put any sort of animals. I'm thinking a couple striders or something in here, because my thought is that this is like some alchemist or something like this building that's on the outskirts of town. But if we were to come up inside, you can see that I used all this stone to lay out the double thick walls, and I will obviously replace those when I go to do the interior, which is going to be another day. This was 2 hours to build this, so yeah, that's going to be another day, guys. But I had a lot of fun just kind of breaking up the rooms and such. So there's the stairs we came up in. We got a little closet over here, maybe like a bedroom, a living room. That goes down to the front door. And then you have more rooms over here that will just keep winding and going up and up. And here we have the attic space, which I need to bring the chimney down. Have a little opening for vaulted ceilings. I don't know. I guess I'm starting to really enjoy laying out and designing interiors, guys. Maybe that's my thing now. Here's the last little like entranceway, and then down and out. I'm gonna look down to not spoil anything. And there's the outside of the house. I had a lot of fun doing the attention to details, such as like the dripstone blocks there. Using that, like the paint has chipped away in the worn corners. And then all of the trapdoors add extra layers of depth. And then of course the fence gates over there to be like little rafter beams to support the roof, which is all sorts of wonk. Like this thing has so many layers. It's almost too much. But like I said, I was having a lot of fun. This is very fantasy inspired to match the theme in Ricky's area. And I do hope that he enjoys that. But now, okay, no spoilers. But now, I'm ready for a little change of scenery, because while Ricky's Valley is absolutely beautiful and a massive terraforming project, I think I'm ready to see colors other than this bluish green. So I'll go meet you guys over at my next project. Emerging out of the portal over at Miah's base, man, I will never get over just how epic this guy's base is. He has spent so much time completely transforming this area into this beautiful fantasy elven island. And in case you guys didn't guess from the opening scenes, like I hinted at earlier, we're going to be working over here. So we'll just cruise past this dock that's just, I feel like I'm truly immersed down in here. Hi, Hypno. Good job keeping work up, bud. Just working here in the hustle and bustle of people loading ships and offloading cargo, and just the day-to-day business of the seaside port. Oh, jump rope action for you. We'll get over here into the vacation areas. And I did reserve this house right up here on the hill. So we'll follow this path up here and just kind of immerse ourselves in this volcanic beauty island. And you saw it in the opening scene. I did claim this. And we'll cruise inside. And I have so many supplies with a... Whose head is that? What? Anyways, yeah, so we got all sorts of shulker boxes of interior design stuff. So this one's going to be a little bit more of a challenge to try to kind of cover. So forgive me guys if it doesn't turn out, but I think I'm going to kind of do it the same way I did with the Hobbit hole, where I just kind of do little cutscenes of doing rooms and then talking about it. So I'm going to go ahead and start digging out the area right here below me, and then let's get to work. Alright, so the area is all dug out. Not a huge home, but I think that I am going to be utilizing the space to its full potential. It looks very chaotic right now, but I just dug it out via the Lightmatica file. And yes, I am in fact going to be using Lightmatica for this interior because I designed it already. So I think I may have thought of a fun and creative way to time-lapse this. So hopefully this turns out. If not, I guess we'll just do a jump cut to when it's done. So I guess here we go. And just like that, we have a finished holiday home. Or vacation home, or home away from home. I don't know. Let's throw on some shaders and take a look at it. So when you first walk in, it's pretty barren, honestly. I probably need to put like a couch or something in here just so it looks like a home. But where the real magic happens is down here in the basement with these shaders on. Oh, I love this. I hope it's not coming through too dark with the YouTube compression. But oh man, is this thing turned out beautifully. I had to do a last few tweaks after the time lapse was over. For instance, this wall was not finished in front of me. And then I put up the armor stands. This one is a little bit barren because that one's gonna be netherite. So I need to work on that. Oh, why did I do that to myself? But yeah, so kind of the idea behind this is when I first saw these homes, I instantly thought of Solstein from Skyrim, excuse me, and the home that you can get when you're doing the Dragonborn DLC. So I wanted to design the house afterwards, and it was all kind of done down in the basement. So here we are, we have like the growing and all of that room. We have all these vines, we have wither roses, mushrooms, just all sorts of fantasy things with the candles floating as a reoccurring theme. Over here we have the forging area to make all of our super strong armor that we don't have yet, and a few others, just decorative ones. Over on this side is the Enchanting Room, which I did go back in afterwards and added this cool void pit. And if I were to really quickly, not do a screenshot, but bust that out, and there it is. I hit a beacon down there that I will wire up to like the lectern or something like that that can turn it on and off. I just put the tinted glass up here to keep this place super dark and moody because I think it looks so cool. One of the kind of effects I really wanted to push on here is all sorts of particles. So we have the candles with the smoke, and I've actually hidden ender chests randomly around here, and then we have a respawn anchor that is very dangerous, but it's only half full because luckily the trapdoor hides the bottom half. So, oh, and then we have the brewing stand, just particles everywhere. In here I hit a spore blossom way back against the wall, so we might see some particles from time to time. In here we have the lava that of course occasionally bubbles up, and candles. And then lastly in here we have the bedroom. And this was the most expensive block to get. This was actually gifted to me by Geek Squeak. So I mined for, I don't know, hours trying to find one, and I couldn't, and Geek was nice enough to give that to me. So I think that may be the explanation behind the head, but I don't know why it's retextured. We may have to go talk to him and find out what's going on. But we got closets full of armor and stuff. I just had so much fun decorating the inside of this and just making it feel like an actual home. Storage everywhere, and just, it's like a literal home away from home, really. I mean, kind of like a bunker, like a doomsday thing. You got everything you need to prep to go out into the wild, but that's, I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Well, my friends, the end of the episode has arrived. I do hope that you enjoyed all of the progress and building that I got done in today's episode, such as terraforming the rest of the castle to get that enclosed in. It's a little bit of prankage with Megatecha, the building of the house at Ricky's Valley, and of course finishing out the episode strong over at Miah's base, building out that interior of another home away from home. As a reminder, if you want to see what secret project I have planned for you guys, be sure to subscribe so I can get started on this thing. I am absolutely chomping at the bit to get this thing going. So be sure to subscribe and like the video while you're down there. Sign up for those notifications. Lets YouTube know that I'm doing a good job and that everyone wants to see some more of it. But this has been Time Architect, and I do hope that you guys have a good one, everyone.